I'd now like to ask Councilmember Brandt Andersson to come forward. He's going to say a few words on behalf of our friends in the Orinda City Council. They're actually having a meeting tonight, so they can't be here. So Councilmember Andersson is here to say a few words on their behalf.
Hi. I just wanted to, I actually asked if I could have a few minutes to speak, and they said, well, you know, Orinda can't make it because they've got this meeting going on. So you can have their slot if you'd like that. And I said, well, you know, I used to live in Orinda. I used to serve on the planning commission there, so that's sort of, you know, reasonable. I'm sure that they're sorry they can't be here, but they had election last night as well, and it was Victoria Smith and Stephen Glazer are back on the council there. So I'm sure they're going to have a good continuation of the work that they're doing there.
Thank you very much. So this is, last night was a real historic occasion. I think all of us understand that, and I know a lot of you, either you're at the Pyramid Ale House or other places last night, watching it from home, watching the results, flipping back and forth between all the news channels, probably reloading the county elections website to see where the results were, the Secretary of State's website, over and over again to see how things were going. And I know that where I was last night in Walnut Creek at 8 o'clock when the networks called California and called the election for Barack Obama, and to see the photos, the pictures from Chicago and the pictures from Times Square and the pictures from where we were last night, that was really a special, rare occasion that you don't get to celebrate very as often in our lives as we would like. And I know all of you were out there, and how excited were you last night at 8 o'clock when we knew that this was official? It was a really wonderful occasion, and it was really historic. And it wasn't, you know, we've gotten so used to close elections and conversations about red states and blue states and those fights and those controversies. And last night, Barack Obama, the first African American to win the presidency, won 52% of the popular vote, which is a great thing. Yes, clap for that, absolutely. Which is the most any presidential candidate has received since 1988, and the most for a Democrat since 1964. Barack Obama became only the third Democrat in the last century to win a majority of the popular vote, which is an amazing, amazing thing when you hear conversations about whether or how this country was going to elect an African-American president. Here he is becoming only the third Democrat to win a majority. And some of the states that you hear he won, Virginia, how about that? Indiana, states that have not gone Democratic in so long, and he opened up he changed things. It was no longer a conversation about red and blue. It was a conversation about how to bring people together, how to make this country work together, and how to move forward. And let's never, ever downgrade the potency of the power of hope, how it can change an election. And part of that hope, and one of the things I want to focus on, part of the real history that was made in this election, was about our young people and what young people did across the country and in California. And two people I want to thank are the youth outreach directors for the Lamorinda Democratic Club, Rebecca Barrett and Jenny Reich, who are here, and the work they did to organize people, to help with campaigns, to have debate watch parties. We had 40, 50 people, young people at those events. And this really was an election about young people. And this is something I've actually watched in my career. 8 years ago, during the 2000 election, the organization for which I worked actually did a study of why young people don't vote and why campaigns don't talk to young people, and we called it Neglection 2000. You don't bother to talk to us, we won't bother to vote. And we talked about why young people felt alienated from campaigns, and we talked about things like maybe we should use this internet thing a little bit more, and maybe we should have ads that target young people's issues a little bit more. And we saw that happen this year, and we saw young people respond. And this is a big deal. We saw 2.2 million more young people aged 18 to 29 vote in this election than we did 4 years ago. That's a 19% increase among people 18 to 29. That's truly significant. President-elect Obama won this age group by a 66-32 margin, or about 8.3 to 8.4 million votes. And when you consider that the popular vote turnout right now has Obama leading by only 7.5 million votes, people 18 to 29 were the difference in this election. If they hadn't have shown up, they would not have won. This was an historic election for who won and also who participated. And now our task, one thing we need to do, is make sure these young people continue to come out, and the people who, their colleagues who are juniors and sophomores and freshmen in high school and couldn't vote this year are going to be ready 4 years from now. And we saw, Barack Obama has 2.5 million fans on Facebook, which is the most anybody has. Michael Phelps is second with 1.6 million. So that is a sign of what a campaign can do, and as somebody who works in campaigns and works for elected officials, I can tell you we're having these conversations about what we can do to reach out to young people and learn from this historic election and this historic victory. So Rebecca and Jenny, thank you for your efforts locally, and all the other young people who helped you. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you did. And everybody, thank you for helping make this historic election possible.